Hey guys, what is going on? DaBoki here once again. It is time for a Maplestory video. I'm here on DaBoki level 257, and I wanted to do a little Totemless Talks today, where I train for a bit, grind, and just talk. I can't call it Totem Talks anymore since there's no more Totem, but it's been a little while since a Maple video, and a little while since we just got to have a talk. So I'm gonna go and pop some buffs, and then find myself a map, and we'll just get into it. I was tempted to try to do a battle analysis, a BA, during this training session, but I might be hitting up some portals, so I don't know. I don't know if that would be like the best idea, but let's go ahead and see. We're starting at 41%. 41%. Let's see how long. Oh, we just popped a rune. Let me go ahead and pop one of these Yeti coupons as well. I'm just using it all, guys. This Wang Sharan XP event is also happening, so I'm gathering some different buffs here. I got the boba buff. I got this Yeti food buff. So I think it would probably actually... Oh man, that Korean fried chicken looks so good. I think this would probably skew my rates quite a bit if I tried to do some sort of battle analysis. So we'll just say 41%, and we'll go ahead and try to get a good feel on what everything is at the end. So I'm at like 26k stats right now with all my drop rate gear on at the moment, and I do have some nice drop rate now. I got about 235 drop rate, and Mesos obtained. I think I got like 80% from my gear, so I was working a little bit on the item and Meso drop, just so that while I'm training I can get a little bit more rates on the nodes and the Mesos. So it's been feeling pretty good. I've been enjoying pushing the Bowmaster just to new limits, and I mean, getting the percentages slow. I'm still on track for trying to get to 260 before New Age. That's my goal. 260 before New Age. I think I can do it. It should be very achievable. I'm like doing my dailies every so often. I have been missing some days here and there, but been trying to keep up with the dailies because that's just been such good XP as well, and it's been awesome. Just kind of taking my time with it, hitting some new goals and personal bests here in Maplestory. It feels good. I never thought I would feel like this was fast, like fast rates, but it feels like it's pretty fast rates. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit here and go inside this portal. This is kind of a hot contested map. Oh, and I hit the chicken dance too. Okay, I gotta do this as quick as possible so I can get out. The unspoken rule is, if you leave your map for a portal and you come back and someone else is in your map, that is no longer your map. You know, there's some little unspoken rules, I feel like, in Maplestory that's been going around. So yeah, just keep that in mind. You know, if you ever leave it for any reason, you come back and your map is gone, well, your map is gone. So how have you guys been? How have you guys been overall? I hope you guys have been doing well. I know my YouTube videos have been sporadic like usual. I've still been trying to maintain a good balance and still trying to push, but also take care of myself. You know, I've been conflicted here and there, of course, just learning and figuring out the different struggles and challenges now that I've been kind of pursuing content creating full time. Like, I love content creating, right? I love making videos, streaming. I think I mentioned it before. I used this as like an escape back in the day. You know, this was just a hobby of mine, but now my escape has become reality, which in my mind, it should be a really good thing, you know? Like something that's I love doing, now I can do full time. But I now want a new escape in a way. I don't really know if that makes sense, but it's like I kind of want to be able to now still be able to have something that's different from my day-to-day of making content, and I think that just comes with balance. And balance, I do believe, is one of the major keys to happiness in life. You know, when we have that balance and we're not overweighing one thing over the other, I feel like that leads to a healthier lifestyle. You know, everything does require balance, But I do believe everyone's balance is different. Everyone's scale is different. No one's scale is calibrated the same way. So if someone says, oh, you need exactly 2 hours of rest or 1 day of rest, that could be different for a lot of people. So I don't think there's a exact formula or correct amount of rest and balance for each person. And I think that's where it gets a little bit difficult, because we start measuring and comparing ourselves to others with what are other people doing and what works for them. But then we get frustrated when it doesn't work for us. And I just got to realize that, I just got different scales. We all have different tipping points. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that's something I'm trying to learn also moving forward. The other night, I had a really good conversation with my brother. We were out in the backyard, and having a few drinks and just talking about life. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually, is just talking to my brother, just kind of picking each other's brains. I really appreciate when I can find someone that I can just communicate with and we can just talk. We're not afraid of getting deep or just hitting points and just kind of talking whatever is on our minds. But we're looking out into the backyard, and in our backyard we have like a really dry patch of grass. Like there's a really bad dry spot there, and kind of looking at it and thinking, that's going to take a lot of work to fix that dry patch. Almost like, you could do a lot of different things, like resod the lawn or dig it up. But after you do that, like after you dig up that dry patch, you got to realize like it's going to take more work also on top of that to fill up that hole that you just created, right? Like it's kind of a 2-step process almost to kind of eliminate the problem. And the reason why I want to say the problem is because I was kind of now like thinking a little bit about life. It's like we have these problems in life, these like toxic or dry spots in our lives that we essentially want to remove. It could be a bad relationship, a bad job, maybe the environment that you're in, just bad habits, something that requires to be removed in life. Like this dry patch in my lawn, and it's one step to remove it, but it's another to fill it with something positive and good. Because if you just leave that hole there, it could fill up with something bad. It could actually not be very productive, because we spend so much energy and effort thinking we removed the problem, but it doesn't stop there. We need to spend additional effort and energy to fill it with something good, because that hole can also rot and become a problem itself. So I was kind of like tying that a little bit with me, like, okay, I left my job and I started pursuing content creating full time. My job was maybe, I can't really call it like a dry spot, like a toxic spot. It was a good job, it was a good job, but it was something that I wanted to leave to pursue myself further. So doing so, I kind of created a little bit of a hole in my life. That's something that I was kind of reflecting on. It was definitely nice being out. I sometimes don't get to go out as much now, because I'm spending a lot of times, doing videos and being indoors, being a little bit of a degenerate here and there. So it's nice to get out when I can. I still try to get out for some camps here and there, some hikes when the time permits. And the most recent one, I went camping with a few friends, and it was really nice. Went out to get to enjoy some of the mountain life. It was some more 4-wheel camping, which has been really cool to just continue to experience this 4-wheeling adventure. It's very new to me. Like I'm not used to taking a car up into very rough terrains and then finding a beautiful camp spot. So it's nice having some friends that are into that sort of hobby. But we hit up these really beautiful mountains in Colorado, and I did some self-reflecting out there like I usually do. I feel like sometimes I have really bad short-term memory at times, because I always say to myself like, oh, I'm really bad with directions, you know, like I get into a parking lot at like a supermarket, and then I don't know how to get out of the parking lot sometimes. It's like, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't really have that great of sense of directions, I feel like. While I was out camping, I tried to make it a point, like while I was wandering around, to be a little bit more aware of my surroundings. And I do feel like when I'm like out in the wilderness, I am a little bit more hyper aware just because it's a new environment. I was doing like a little bit more work on trying to be more directionally oriented. And while I was doing this, like just kind of maybe training and working out my short-term memory, I was kind of having like a little bit of a thought of like, if I train myself to have better short-term memory, you know, and being able to kind of remember things a little bit easier, I think just overall my productivity and my goals can be achieved a bit better in a way. Because I had this thought, you know, like I think we've all went through a time in our lives where we were feeling strongly about something, right? Something that we wanted to accomplish and do, and then we fall through, like, which it happens. It could be the timing was bad, or just things didn't work out, something came up. But like my biggest thing, you know, that like I kind of think about is working out or going to the gym. You know, it's interesting because like the night before, or even like at New Year's resolution, right? Like we set these goals, like I want to work out tomorrow, and we're feeling super hyped about it. And we're feeling like very motivated and inspired, like, yes, I'm setting my alarm, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do exactly this, you know. And then the time comes, and then all of a sudden in the morning or whenever, you're not feeling as inspired or strongly about whatever the task and goal you set your mind to. And what if that kind of tied in with a little bit of like short-term memory loss in a way? No, you remembered that you were supposed to go to the gym. It's not that. It's more so of you forgot your feeling, your own feeling that you had the night before. You know what I mean? It's like we had this thought, we had this very strong feeling, and then we forgot how that felt. It's almost like after you, like before you eat, like when you're really hungry, and then after you eat, you're like, I don't even remember what being hungry felt like. Like after you're so full, you eat. You just don't know what it means to be hungry because you're feeling so full sometimes. But like, what if we can remember that feeling? Remember that feeling of what it meant to be hungry, what it meant to be motivated to work out, or to go and further yourself, your degrees, or, you know, do better in school, whatever it might be, that feeling of motivation and inspiration that you got during the time. And what if we just like were able to train ourselves to feel those feels again, which is a double-edged sword. We don't want to feel or remember the bad feels too, you know. Like with that, I understand like there's some things that it's just better if we don't remember what it feels like, and it could get, you know, we could get pretty negative with it too. Is there a way to just remember the good or the things that to help us? I don't know. It's like a power that will also hurt you too if we were able to just always remember what something feels like. I'm just thinking of like breakups or disappointments, you know, things like that. But I do feel like negative feelings in general are able to be remembered easier. I don't know if negative things stand out in your mind more, or if like positive things, like good experiences stand on your mind. A lot of times like we are really easily to pick at things that go wrong instead of things that go right. And I think I mentioned this in like a few of my videos a while back, but when I used to work at Papa Murphy's, that was like one of my first jobs. I used to make pizzas. I remember the store manager would come in, once a month or something, and we would all stand in a line in the back kitchen, and he would like go through like a checklist of kind of like an observation of I guess how the store is running. And that's a weird aeroplaster. And he would go through all the things that were wrong, which I understand is like you want to go ahead and find the areas of improvement. Like that is important. Like you always want to improve the store, but there was not a lot of room, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of mention on things that went right. And it just kind of made me feel like it's a lot easier to see the negative side of things. Are we going to make it all the way up? Oh my gosh. Let's go. Oh. No, we're not. It's hard to recall sometimes of things that just went well. We go to a restaurant and we're very critical. We're on vacation and kind of imagining things that could have gone better, or maybe comparing it to other times that you're like, this salad was not as good as the one I had in Rome or something. You can't really enjoy the moments. I just watched a movie on Netflix. I forgot what it was called. It's like something happiness. The premise of the movie was like this group of people taking a journey through the Appalachian Trail, like doing a backpacking trip and trying to kind of like find happiness. There was this one lady that kind of mentioned something. Her goal was to essentially be happier, maybe, or like how to be happy. And she mentioned a really nice exercise, I think, that I've been trying to practice these past days, was kind of think back. It could be like any point in the day. Just think back 3 times that you felt happy today. Genuinely. Just what made you happy, And I'll tell you 3 things that I can think of right now, today so far, that made me happy. And like when you kind of like look back at it, it makes you appreciate those moments more. And it just kind of makes you happier. You know what I mean? So like my 3 happies today was I ran on the treadmill today, which made me feel really nice. I made myself a really good meal, which that was good. That made me happy. And also I got myself to film this video, which I'm pretty happy right now. So yeah, those are like my 3 happies so far that I've experienced today. And I think it's like nice to kind of practice feeling happy and also just remembering what made you happy throughout the day. Kind of approaching the last minutes of our training session here. I can't believe it's already been 30 minutes. I kind of don't know what I talked about. Oh no, my short-term memory. Didn't I just say I was gonna try to train my short-term memory? No, I'm just kidding. I remember. I hope I remember. No, it's good. I really appreciated this time, being able to kind of reflect and look back a little bit. Just kind of learning more also. And remembering. This helps me remember too. And just some of the lessons that I've been trying to take away throughout my experiences in my day-to-days. So I always say it, but like these videos are very therapeutic for me. And it just helps me also be able to kind of observe more about myself. And just, again, remember a little bit on what's happened throughout. Also, I feel like I'm not training this map very efficiently. I don't know. I feel like maybe this wasn't the best map to train in. I just kind of popped into a random map, to be honest. So yeah, I could probably go into a different one next time. But I just wanted to get a little training done, a little grind session. I feel like some other maps I was getting a lot better rates as well. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with also the percentages I gained. Can I add in a 4th happiness? Am I allowed to do that? I know people were telling me to like maybe get some WAP potions, the wealth acquisition potions, and can use that, but I don't know if I really want to do a full 2 hours at the moment. And I haven't done the Threads of Fate quest quite yet, so I'm still waiting to do that quest. I'm putting it off. I do need to do it though, because I'm trying to hit Meister level for this like 6-star challenge thing, which this has been a whole interesting event too. I probably should have talked a little bit about that and the Bean Brigade stuff, but mind wandered a little too much today. Went on some some twists and turns. But yeah, it looks like the buffs are running out here, and 46%. I will probably do like a little bit of a progress report here pretty soon, just kind of showing you guys my gear. I have a few more things that I want to upgrade, a little teaser for you guys that made it here this far. I did get 2 more pieces of arcane items. So I have my arcane shoes and shoulders. So in total, I have 4. I have gloves and I have my weapon, which is really exciting. So now I just need my cape, and then I'm going to work on that. I'm very close to getting my superior belt. I'm still just trying to get it as a drop, but I do have 700 coins here. I have 700 Golux coins, so I can buy the superior belt anytime. I'm just kind of waiting, trying to figure out if I want to get my reinforced belt to 22 stars and then transfer it, or just transfer it at 21 stars, because when you transfer it over, we do lose 1 star. Also, my potential is pretty sexy on the reinforced belt, so I'm gonna be a little sad losing that potential, but I do want to switch over to the superior belt just to kind of get that out of the way and get the superior gear going. So it's been pretty nice. I think like all my gear together, I'm sitting at like 32k stat, but I'll do a whole gear report for you guys in another video. I think I should probably end this one though, since it's getting a little long, but I appreciate you guys listening to my tangents here for this Totemless Talks. I hope you guys are all doing wonderful. Much love, one love. This has been DaBoki, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Goodbye.